units are able to run the engine, okay, and prevent the rotor. Some system, the free wheel clutch, they will call it, also the free wheel unit. So that will prevent the rotor to rotate during starting of the engine, so that it is easy to start the engine with the available starter, whatever the types of starter. Because of the large inertia due to the rotor system, so the freewheeling unit which are not rotating the rotor during starting. So it's made such a way, the constructed such a way it is not rotating the rotor, and also prevent the rotor from driving the engine. That also one of the this one. It prevents the rotor to rotate the engine. That is very important, because during auto rotation, what happens? Engine seized off. The pilot is cutting off the engine. So the auto rotation is able to land on the land strip by using the auto rotation of the rotor system. The rotor should have the energy so that he can land it very safely. That time that rotor may not damage the engine also, so which is preventing the rotor to rotate the engine. Okay. There are a lot of some freewheel units types are available that are installed in the helicopter. So one of the thing is automatic clutch, mercury clutch, belt tightener, sprague clutch, and roller unit. Okay. See, like a mercury clutch, when I discussed, because like a governor, we have the rotor, this one. There is a system called flyweights assembly, so which can fly out and flying in. Like that here, the mercury clutch also, the shoes which are packed up with the mercury, due to the heavy weight of the mercury, it can able to easily fly. The shoe can engage the drum. So the shoes which are filled with the mercury, because of the weight, it can fly, and which can engage the drum, whatever the disc drum, so that it can able to rotate. Okay. So in other direction also, when the flying in happen, that is when the rotation not there, so that it can come into the original position, which will be the disengaged. Okay, whatever the system will be disengaged. So it's like a freewheeling unit. So freewheeling unit. So there's another type is, see, these are the types, I think. Okay, okay. So like belt 47, we have the centrifugal clutch. We can centrifugal automatic clutch. It's a freewheeling unit which had a set of shoes. Not only one shoes, there may be 2-3 shoes. Like a brake, you've seen the brake disc. We have the brakes. Okay, brake carbon brakes. 1 or 2 shoes will be there, lined with this carbon fire. This one and material. That is in the brake. Here, like shoes which can fly and which can engage the gear from the power plant. As the engine increases in speed, shoe move outward, making contact with the drum, which drives the transmission. Okay. So in the clutch where it is installed, here if you see that location, which is located between the it's 210.
ಚಿನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಫೋಲಿಯೋ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಫ್
That's what I discussed with the single. Give it in general. 210.
ಸರಿ
Okay, basically. So as the engine speed increases, the shoes move outward by a centrifugal force, making contact with the drum, which drives the transmission. Okay, so the shoes which are fitted in the this flywheel clutch, when the shoes are going out, which can engage the drum. Okay, so that can engage the transmission system, automatic clutch. Okay, so like mercury clutch, the shoes are packed with the mercury. When the mercury shoes are flying out, so that can engage the drum. Because of the how the centrifugal force is created, the whatever the mercury that is filled in the shoes package, due to the weight of the mercury, it has a lot of centrifugal force. Okay, so that it can engage the positively in the drum, and the drum can be fitted in the transmission system. Otherwise, engagement of the drum to the transmission system casing. Okay, that is the mercury clutch. So automatic clutch bell, it is fitted. One of the example, Bell 47, the helicopter having the automatic clutch. Here the RPM, if you see the engine running at 500 RPM with the positive engagement. Initially, I saw this freewheeling via unit as a roller clutch assembly also. So we also have one of the automatic clutch as a roller clutch. Okay, okay. See here, the mercury clutch segments are moved outward by mercury held under the shoes by rubber bladder. Okay, the shoes are held in place on each segment by the springs. Okay, the to assist. You see, the shoes are held by the springs. So, which are held by the springs. So, when the rotation is there, so the bladder which can fly against the springs. Okay, the spring is retaining the shoes in the correct position when the engine is not rotating. Everyone is following? Hello? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So because it's like a governor, when you design the governor, centrifugal governor, most of the all the piston engines for the fuel adjustment for fuel tuning in the fuel pump, the governors are same mechanism here. The clutch freewheel unit which can engage the transmission during starting of the engine. When the engine is stopped, that is decelerating. So naturally the flying whatever the shoes are coming in, okay, then the transmission is disengaged. The maintenance, how it is maintained, the replaceable linings and a drum, both of which are to the same wear factor. In addition, the mercury level is quite important because it is weight of this mercury coupled with centrifugal force. Mercury is very corrosive to metal. Loss of these are the old helicopter got the mercury clutch. So the mercuries are very corrosive in nature because you see, because I had a one experience in my test rig. The rotameter one day it was just we unfortunately one of my colleague has given the he has not seen, he has not adjusted rotameter having the 200-300 centimeter head full of mercury that was come out from that that construction of that what you call the U-tube. In physics lab you would have seen the U-tube. Like that the big rotameter, the mercury was come out. Okay, then it was the glass was broken, I think so, because of due to high pressure something happened in the rig. So the mercury was just fallen everywhere, and that was a tiles floor, and we are all in panic condition, and we three are there that time. So they were collecting the mercury. Okay, so one of the that one junior got the this golden gift, gold, that is gold ring or something like that, gold band. Okay, so he was collecting a mercury. The mercury touches the gold. Gold is gone. Then what happened? Because it can eat. Simply the mercury can eat the gold, whatever the gold. Okay, that whatever ring, so some 50% gold is gone. Then we thought that then again what one thing the mercury was come out. We are now chargeable for the mercury and we are questioning for the mercury and blasting of rotameter. Other thing, the personally the gold is gone along with the mercury. Then what happened? We are given also the mercury to the other shops to collect the gold separately. So that was true. So mercury is yet very corrosive to the metal. Loss of mercury will be noticed by the clutches. So during the maintenance or overhauling, filling up the mercury, leakage of mercury, these all things were the problem in case of the mercury clutch. Okay. Now one of the roller unit, next type is roller unit. So the rollers are used as a unit, okay, rather than sprag. Sprag clutch is also there. So the rollers are trapped in between the lobed shaft and the freewheeling head. These rollers are held in contact with the freewheeling head by a spring. When rotation of the lobed shaft occurs from the engine, the rollers make contact with the lobed side and wedge of rollers to the driver and driven portion, forming a solid. There is like a bearing. Bearing, you got inner race, outer race, and balls are there in the cages, rollers are there in the cage, like that. The shaft got the inner and the outer. There is a rollers are there, which can be held by the spring and which can fly also, and which can during the running of the engine, the rollers can fly and they have the contact with the other portion, other casing, like a wedge of the rollers will happen to the driver and drive portion, forming a solid. One of the same thing happened to the sprag clutch, because now you see the roller clutch construction and when the rotor goes into the outer rotation, the rollers change position and makes contact with the lobed wheel. In this position, the lobed shaft may remain still with the outer freewheeling in position. Okay, now I see this construction details. The roller unit, how this is the roller unit. You see the roller freeing. Everyone could see this diagram? Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Visible.
Yeah. So you are clear about, see, there is a rollers are there, okay, and lobed shaft is inside. Then there is a top one is that this one disc, okay. So when definitely when the this one during the engine starting, that can have the wedge action between the rollers and lobed shaft, so that definitely so the engine transmission is power is transmitted, RPM is transmitted to the transmission. In other direction, that is when the engine is not rotating or decelerating, the automatically the rollers are coming into the original position by the tension of the spring. Here spring they are not shown, but as it is spring is there, that can bring into the rollers into the original position. If you go into the sprag clutch, see, this is the sprag clutch. Sprag means if you see the inner race, outer race, sprags are there. Okay, that is all held by the spring. Okay, there are springs in the top side. There is a one circular spring is there going all around the sprags. Then shaft is there, which is okay. Engine is connected with this center shaft. Now sprags are in 8 size shape. Okay, 8 size shaped sprags. When the engine is rotating, the sprags are able to fly. The sprags are having the. I saw it in the LCA. LCA when I happened to go the development of this one shaft, this LCA sprag clutch I saw in the DRDO labs, because earlier it was imported from the Switzerland. Now indigenously developed sprag clutch are there. Because what is the role when the engine is starting, in case of this LCA aircraft, engine is starting, the sprag clutch can engage. What happens? Engage when the starter is starting. Here the role is different. While in helicopter, we are discussing with the transmission system to the engine. Okay, but in LCA aircraft, what happened? The starting unit to the engine. When the engine is started, when the starter is started, okay, starter you are giving the sometimes if we consider the electric starter or pneumatic starter. So when the starter is started, so the initially starter will rotate. So that rotation can be this one transmitted to the clutch. The clutch also rotate. The clutch, what happened when the starter slowly starting, so the RPM is increasing, the sprags will fly and engage the outer this one outer casing. That outer casing connected to the engine. Okay, so during starting, sprags will fly and which engage the outer disc or drum, and that drum is connected to the engine. So that disc, okay, connected to the engine, and the engine is rotating. Okay, when the starter is off, that is not rotating, sprags are coming in. Okay, Once the engine attains self-sustaining RPM, initially only you require to crank the engine. Am I correct or not? Hello? Hello? Is it correct or not? Yes or no? Hello? You don't know about the details, eh? Okay. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now what happened here, once the like a LC aircraft here, this is attached to the your in between the transmission system and the engine. Once the engine shaft is connected in the center shaft is connected to the engine. The outer shaft is connected to the transmission system. When the spracks are flying out, it may have the contact with this outer shaft. So naturally, outer shaft is engaged, and the engine is transmission system. The RPM is this one available. Okay, so RPM is transmitted from the engine to the transmission system. Okay, now the engine is not operating. The flags are coming in. No centrifugal force, because due to centrifugal force only the spracks are flying out and flying in. Spracks are very small element, like a balls, like a rollers, because you see the ball bearing balls are very small. That same thing, roller bearing rollers are like that. Spracks are the elements which can fly out and fly in. Okay, fly out or fly in, and the outer race can be engaged, okay, during the starting of the engine, and the when the engine is cut off, the spracks are coming in, okay, coming in, and there is no transmission of the RPM to the transmission system. This is the simple concept. When you go into the detail as a designer, when you see the component, there are a lot of issues are there for designing this sprack latch, going for the your contact stress analysis, then how the torque can be transmitted, load can be transmitted from the inner to the inner shaft to the outer shaft by means of the spracks, how it is the transient takes place. Okay, these are all issues are there, real design of the sprack latch. So here you must know the what is the purpose, what is the construction, what is the spracks, how it is held in normal time, which is held by the springs. Okay, so roller clutch and the sprack clutch. So sprack clutch, you see this slide. Sprack clutch is the freewheeling unit which allows the movement in only one direction by having inner and outer race, which are often at the end of drive shaft. So which has got the inner race, which has got the outer race, and spracks are positioned inside in between the inner race and outer race, which are 8 in shape. Okay, the sprack assembly is made a number of spracks resembling the rollers in roller building. That's what I told. It is similar to the rollers, like a roller in the roller bearing. The spracks are in the sprack clutch, having the 8 shape. The vertical height of each of these spracks slightly greater than the gap. Yes, the when you design the spracks, the height, naturally the clearance between the inner race, outer race, only you are positioning the spracks. Suppose that during design you must be very careful because you have to make the height little bit higher than the your clearance. So which have some angular momentum. Okay, so that which can fly in and fly out and fly in. Okay, so the vertical height of each of the sprack is slightly greater than the gap between the ID, inner diameter of the outer race, and the outer diameter of the inner race. They are held in position by a double gauge assembly, spring loaded, engaged in the engaged position. Okay, the circular springs so are there. One is in the inner side, other one is the outer side, which are just held the spracks in the correct position. This engaged position places the spracks against both races at a slight angle. Okay. Rotation from the engine on the outer race jams the spracks between the outer and inner race, and this interference strip drives the inner race which is attached to the drive shaft. Okay. Now you see here, here as per this paragraph, what it is given. Inner shaft is okay, attached to the engine, and the outer shaft is attached to the transmission system. If the drive shaft attempts to drive the engine, the sparks will be relieved and the drive shaft will rotate without the engine. Okay. See, only one side only sprag is engaging. It can move in only one, like NRV, non-return valve. It can move in only, the fluid will move in the only the one direction. Like that, the sparks will move in the only one direction to engage. Okay, okay. So that can engage and the RPM can be transmitted, not in dual way. You want to engage this also, drive shaft when it is coming in, it is engaging, which is coming out, which is engaging out. Only one engagement, that is when it is flying out, engaging the drive shaft, which can drive the transmission system. Okay. So another component like a belt tighteners. Earlier helicopter, they use the belt tightener. Belt also used to transmit power from one shaft to other shaft, like a gears. Okay, like a gears are transmitting the power from one shaft to other shaft. Like belt also, which are using. You would have seen the Whopper belt and V groove bullet belt. Okay, it's like pulleys all with the belt and all. Like belts are used to transmit the your engine to the transmission. There are pulleys are connected to the engine shaft and to the transmission shaft. Okay, the belts are held in the pulleys. Okay, you would have seen in the normal machine and all, when you go into the take the you lot of like lathe machines, like outside also like grinding machine and all, there are belts that can transmit power from the one shaft to other shaft. In the same way, here also from the engine shaft to the transmission shaft, the belt is transmitting the RPM. You can tighten the belt in case of the after the prolonged running of the this one engine and transmission, the belt may have the looseness, so you can tighten it. Okay, so during servicing you can, during maintenance you can tighten the belt drive. Okay, this is the one of the these are old helicopter. Nowadays there is no belt system in our old helicopter. We have the big reciprocating engine, uh, circular reciprocating, what is the rotary engines, which are installed in the nose section and transmission system in the fuselage mid. There is a belts are running from one engine to the transmission system. Okay. Now another component, rotor brake. The rotor brake is located between the engine and transmission. This component used to stop the rotor on shutdown after the engine has ceased to power the rotor. See, if you now you see the pilot has after flying, he has landed on the helipad. Now the rotor is due to inertia, due to the maximum inertia of the blades. After cutting of the engine also, the main rotor is rotating, carry on rotating. It may rotate even half an hour also. Okay. So this is because then unloading of passengers, unloading of cargo, even pilot cannot come out from the this one cockpit to the ground because your main rotor is rotating. Due to the inertia, it is carry on. After stopping of the engine also, it is carry on rotating. Okay, so to prevent the rotation after the shutting of the engine, this component, rotor brake, is a component which is fitted between the engine and the transmission system. This component is used to stop the rotor on shutdown after the engine has ceased to power. That's what. When the pilot cut off the throttle, engine is now off. Engine is slowly, it's cutting off. Okay, shutdown of the engine takes place. But after during shutting down, whether the main rotor also shut down, but the rotor brake is come into action, which can slow down the rotor. Okay, which can break the rotor, even not immediate braking. So instead of going for the 15-20 minutes, now within a 5 minutes, it will stop the rotor. Okay. Because the inertia of the main rotor, it takes few minutes for rotor come to a complete stop. These brakes are a disc type attached to the input of the transmission. It may be either hydraulically or manually operated. See, which may be hydraulically operated. Pilot can put on the rotor brake on, so the piston can move. Okay, so it can stop the this one transmission, that whatever the shaft is there, which can slow down that shaft. Okay, or manually. We only helicopter manual pulling, so manually the brake is on. Even the like brake, you may be seeing the like a brake, how the brake works. Pilot is just pressing the brake, so single disc brake, that whatever the brake liner which is moving, and the slowing down the rotation of the wheel, and the braking is there, braking of the wheel is there. So like that here, when pilot operates manually, the brake will move, the liner will move, and which slow down the transmission rotation of the transmission shaft. Okay, and it is slowly braking the rotor. Understood, everyone? Rotor brake, because this and all you must know what is the function of the rotor brake. Like a multiple choice question and all will be asked. What is the how the sprag's shape of the sprag? Whether sprag can move in both direction or single direction? What is the use of the rotor brake? What is the use of blade tightener? Where it is located? Okay. So maintenance. See here, some maintenance of the components is written. Maintenance practices applied to these components located between the engine and transmission are as varied as the component themselves. Maintenance procedure must be performed in accordance with the manufacturer recommended. Yes, manufacturer, you have to always, because I can tell the general maintenance procedure, okay, briefly, but the real maintenance procedure you have to perform on the component in accordance with the manufacturing, that is maintenance manual. The operation of the clutch and freewheeling must be checked in each pre-flight run-up, as both items are critical, okay, to the safety of the flight. The clutch engagement should be smooth possible. See, one of our check we used to call RDT, that is run down time. Okay, when the pilot is cutting off the engine, actually this was what I was seeing, this was in the fighter aircraft. Okay, we used to check RDT. We used to write the RDT in the logbook also. When the pilot is after landed, pilot is coming, halting in front of the hangar in the tarmac. As a technician, we will engineer, we will go on stand and the rear of the jet pipe. Not rear. Rear means you. I'm not telling about the rear of the exhaust, so that you will get all exhaust gases. No. Near to the rear fuselage, because where the turbine, I can hear the turbine sound. Okay. Then the turbine, when the pilot cut off the throttle, he is putting off the throttle, the engine is cut off. So the turbine is still rotating. Take, like that. We hear the sound. Okay. And pilot is waiting for the RDT level. So the when the totally the turbine is slow down, there is no clickering sound. Then we will marshal it like that, so that pilot will cut off other this one instruments and other. He can even note down. He can time switch. He can note down. Okay, so he can, when during cutting off the throttle, making the throttle back to the what is your marshalling, what you are telling from the outside. Okay, you are signing cut off like that. You are shaking the hands. So the RDT is total rundown time. So like that, every pre-flight run up. So after the before going for the flying, so you are checking the condition of the clutch and freewheeling unit, and also the after some stopping of that, you can note down that sound of engagement. Okay, engagement of the these clutches, tracks, uh, and roller unit, sprack clutch, the automatic clutch,